The call for restructuring, that's our focus here this morning. Let's go over now and find out. They had a meeting yesterday. What's the thinking now? And that will be from Abuja. Markwe?
Well, thank you, Chamberlain. I do have with me Mr. Issa Aremu, who is the General Secretary, Textile Union of Nigeria, and also the National Executive Member of, is a National Executive Member of the Nigeria Labour Congress. But before we go into our conversation, let's take a peep into what precisely transpired at the NLC meeting on restructuring yesterday, which held in Abuja.
Nigeria unity.
Issues of restructuring has for some time now dominated discourse in many fora. The issue also came up at this event organized by the Nigeria Labour Congress in Abuja. Before now, the federal government has sued for peace amongst the agitators, organized meeting with religious and traditional rulers to ensure the unity of the country. Each of the leaders who were at the meeting with government officials promised to ensure that the unity of the country is not jeopardized. But it appears that is not enough. At this meeting, eminent Nigerians suggest what must be done to protect the unity of the country.
And the greatest thing we could do for this country is to always reflect on our history, who we are. We didn't fall from the sky. We came from somewhere. We became Nigeria in 1914, amalgamation. But people keep on shouting the mistake of 1914. God doesn't make mistakes. If God doesn't want anything to happen, nobody will ever make it happen.
Different speakers identify review of the revenue allocation formula and the federal character representation as some of the areas to be resolved to calm the nerves of champions of restructuring.
We must confront restructuring, but we must do other things that are actually driving agitation. Issues of development, issue of a state that is not relevant to the people. Nigerians want a state that is accountable.
And then it was time for the former governor to share his thoughts on the call for restructuring.
There was a power change which Nigerians voted for, and suddenly people who have simply just lost out just find a new buzzword called restructuring, and many of these people have been
Some of them left the hall. After about 3 minutes, the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress appeals for calm. Mr. Oshomole then makes his point.
I believe the unity of Nigeria I accept in total, and I'm not saying it for the first time. The unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. Just like the unity of NLC is not negotiable. But the governance of our country, the quality of leadership, we must continue to review it and continue to engage it.
As the debate on how to sustain the unity of the country continues, many Nigerians are watching to see how the government intends to tackle the issues headlong in the days ahead.
Well, Comrade Issa Aremu is with us in the studio now. Comrade, you were at that event yesterday. Were you?
Yeah, oh, very well. I was there live, just as much as China was there.
First and foremost, why did the NLC, why did the Nigeria Labour Congress feel a need to, hold a forum on restructuring?
Oh, I think the greatest discussion in town today is about Nigeria and the future of our country. We're a pan-Nigeria organization. Our name is Nigeria Labour Congress, and labor creates wealth. That's our motto, But we are not just factors of production. We are citizens, And I think there's no better organization, better positioned, to talk about the future of Nigeria than Nigeria Labour Congress. And we saw the need to really restructure the debate in a well-organized manner. And you can see, you know, what we had yesterday, a very robust audience, you know. It was also very all-inclusive. I mean, His Eminence was there. We had the best of intellectuals who addressed us, you know. Professor Samegui, in fact, I jokingly said that we have a new Claude Ake, you know, who soft-spoken, but with a lot of reflections for us, you know, about where we are coming from Nigeria, I mean, as a country, where we are and where we should go. So what I'm saying here is that we are, as citizens, you know, taxpayers, the producers in this economy, I think there are no better organizations than Nigeria Labour Congress to, you know, to add our views to the debate on restructuring. And that's what happened yesterday. Was the Nigeria Labour Congress just hoping to have a talk shop, or do you think there's some of the things that we discussed? Well, it's also a continuation of some efforts which we've put in place. Don't forget that we had a series of rallies, you know, marching for good governance, against anti-corruption. You know, I mean, now it's so fashionable to talk of restructuring, but at the end of the day, the basic issue is about a better Nigeria. You know, we need uninterrupted power supply. We need to guarantee jobs. We need to fight this wholesome looting of the national resources. So we've been doing so before, but, you know, we also need to not take